Florida's Villages is still one of the fastest-growing communities in the entire country. New moving trucks roll in every single week. The golf carts keep multiplying. On paper, it looks like the good times never stopped. But there's a quieter story happening at the same time, one you won't find in the glossy brochures or the sales tours. It's the story of the people heading out the back door while everyone else is still walking in the front. And in 2026, that back door has never been busier. Resale listings are climbing, homes are sitting on the market longer than they used to, and local real estate agents keep telling a version of the same story. More long-time owners than usual are cashing out, and they're not looking back. So what's actually pushing people to leave a place that so many others are still racing to move into? Let's break it down, reason by reason. Reason 1. Healthcare isn't as simple as the brochure makes it look. For a lot of residents, the main crock in the dream isn't about money, it's about medical care. The main primary care network serving the community went through a rocky financial stretch in recent years, a billing dispute with Medicare that got serious enough to land the system in bankruptcy proceedings. Eventually, it was bought out. Most doctors stayed on, most patients kept their coverage. Technically, it all got sorted out. But it left a mark. It reminded thousands of people that even in a town purpose-built for retirees, healthcare isn't some guaranteed utility that just runs itself forever. And here's the bigger issue. For anything beyond routine care, a cardiologist, a neurologist, real cancer treatment, residents are still driving out to Orlando or Gainesville. Picture that if you're in your late 70s or 80s. That's not a small errand. That's the difference between managing your own appointments and needing someone else to drive you an hour each way, both ways. Being 5 minutes from a golf course feels wonderful, right up until your health changes, and eventually, for everyone, it does. At that point, being 5 minutes from the right hospital starts to matter a whole lot more than being 5 minutes from the 9th hole.
Reason 2. Family pulls harder than sunshine. This might be the most human reason on the entire list. People move down at 62, dreaming about warm winters and morning pickleball games. Then, a son takes a new job in Texas. A daughter has a baby back in Ohio. And suddenly, all that sunshine has to compete with a 2-year-old grandchild you only see twice a year. Try explaining that feeling to someone who hasn't lived it. Watching a grandchild grow up mostly through a phone screen because you're 1,200 miles away. This isn't unique to this community. It would happen anywhere retirees cluster far from their kids. But local agents consistently point to it as one of the biggest reasons a longtime homeowner finally decides to list the house. It has nothing to do with whether the community delivered on its promise. Sometimes, the heart just makes a decision that no spreadsheet ever could.
Reason 3. The bills that sneak up on you. This is the reason that creeps in slowly, one statement at a time, until suddenly it doesn't feel small anymore. It's not the price tag on the house, it's everything that shows up after you already own it. New buyers in 2026 are paying somewhere around $200 a month just in amenity fees, and that number tends to climb almost every year with inflation. That's before you even get to the CDD payment, which is really 2 costs bundled into one, an ongoing maintenance charge that never goes away, and, in many of the newer sections, a bond that can run into the tens of thousands of dollars. Financed almost like a second mortgage stretched across 20 or 30 years. 2 houses can sit on the same street, share the exact same floor plan, and still carry wildly different bond balances, depending on when each one was built. Then there's property tax, which depends entirely on which of the 3 surrounding counties, Sumter, Lake, or Marion, your specific lot happens to fall into. And then there's homeowners insurance. For anyone living on a fixed income, that's not just another line item on a bill. A renewal that jumps a few $100s in a single year can mean the difference between a comfortable month and a month where something else has to get cut. Florida's insurance market has been brutal for years now, with carriers pulling out and premiums climbing even on homes that have never filed a single claim.
Stack the amenity fee, the bond, the taxes, and the insurance together, and you get retirees sitting at the kitchen table at 70 years old, doing math they never imagined they'd still be doing in retirement.
Reason 4. The market flipped. For years, this was purely seller's territory. Multiple offers, bidding wars, homes gone within days of listing. That's not the story anymore. Inventory has grown. Homes are sitting on the market for a month and a half or longer, and prices have actually softened compared to a year earlier, somewhere in the range of 2 to 4%, depending on which dataset you look at. That's not a crash, it's a correction, but it's changed how people think. Longtime owners who watched their home equity grow for years are looking at that number, running the math, and deciding this is the moment to sell. Take the gain, and move somewhere quieter and less expensive. It isn't panic. For a lot of these homeowners, it's the smartest financial move they've made in a decade. They're not fleeing failure, they're taking a win off the table.
Not everyone is leaving Florida. They're just moving down the road. Here's something worth knowing before you assume this is a one-way ticket out of the state. A lot of the people leaving aren't leaving Florida at all. Many are staying within a half-hour's drive, just trading in for a quieter, cheaper version of the same lifestyle. Ocala keeps coming up again and again in these conversations. Lower cost of living, no CDD bonds stacked on top of the mortgage, and still close enough to visit old friends from the old neighborhood. Others are heading toward the Gulf Coast for a beach they can reach without an hour in the car. So this exodus, if you even want to call it that, isn't people fleeing in defeat. It's people who got exactly what they wanted out of the community for a decade and are now cashing in the equity to buy a quieter final chapter somewhere else. Reason 5. Growing pains nobody wants to admit out loud. This reason feels almost taboo to say because it sounds like complaining about success. But the wider metro area has grown past 150,000 residents, and honestly, the roads were never built to handle that many people. Traffic on the main corridors during peak season has stopped being a minor inconvenience and become a daily grind. Golf cart congestion piles up at intersections, parking lots at the recreation centers fill up fast. Tee times that used to be walk-up now require a wait list. Add water to the list, too. Irrigation restrictions have tightened as the region leans harder on the aquifer to keep tens of thousands of lawns green, and plenty of new residents are genuinely surprised there are strict rules about how often they're even allowed to water. None of this makes the community bad, it just means the version people saw in a YouTube video from 2015 isn't the version they're moving into today.
Reason 6. When rules start to feel like a leash. This last reason is quieter, but it shows up constantly in resident forums. This is a deed-restricted community, which means paint colors, landscaping, what you're allowed to park in your own driveway, even certain home modifications, all have to go through an approval process. That structure is exactly why the neighborhoods look so sharp, and it's a big part of why home values have held up. But if you're someone who wants full control over your own property, that same structure can start to feel less like order and more like a leash. It doesn't bother most residents, but for a specific kind of homeowner, it's a deal breaker they didn't see coming until they were already 3 years into ownership. So, is turnover really increasing? Based on listing data and local reporting through the middle of 2026, yes. Turnover is trending up, not down. More resale inventory, longer time on the market, more of these quiet exits happening one at a time. The overall population keeps climbing because new buyers keep arriving to take the place of the ones leaving. So the community isn't shrinking, but the churn underneath that headline number is real and it's growing. The Villages isn't collapsing, it isn't emptying out. But behind the headlines, something is shifting. More long-time residents are quietly deciding that the next chapter of their retirement belongs somewhere else. And whether that trend keeps building, may depend less on Florida itself and more on what retirees can actually afford to sustain in the years ahead. What this means if you're considering the move yourself. If you're actually thinking about a move here in 2026, none of this is a reason to write the community off. It's a reason to walk in with your eyes wide open. Ask about the specific CDD bond balance on the home you're considering, not just the neighborhood average. Find out which of the 3 counties the lot actually sits in before you assume what your tax bill will look like. Talk to an insurance agent before you fall in love with a floor plan, not after. And be honest with yourself about how far you're willing to be from a hospital that can handle more than a routine visit. None of that makes this a bad decision. For a huge number of people, it's still delivering exactly what it promised. But the deal you're signing up for in 2026 isn't the same deal someone signed in 2015. And the smartest buyers right now are the ones doing that math before closing, not after they've already moved in.